So we're basically just cleaning up and welding up, and but because we used a box spanner, we've been able to keep the plastic there to keep that centralized. We're going to weld this little hole here, which will then hold it in place. Then we can take that plastic edging around it out, and so it won't be in our way when we come to welding around here. I'm actually thinking of putting a cut in it to make that tighter. We'll see how we get on, because it does melt pretty quick, but because it melts pretty quick, it all becomes as one pretty quick as well. Yeah, so just to give you an idea what the plan is now, well, obviously the thread's going to be sticking out the side, out this edge of it, isn't it? And I was thinking of, hold on, let me get a piece. So you'll remember we're going to have a piece of thread sticking out here, which is the other end. We had them big washers, didn't we? So I'm going to weld a big washer here and centralize the shaft here in the middle whenever that settles. Right, now I'm going to show you an idea I've got. I'm going to try and make it quite nice. We're going to make our junctions. See, we really want the drive of a socket, because this is twisting. Really, we've only got a square end of there to work with, haven't we? Really. Welding it together, yeah, it might snap, but if I, as we did before, turn that into a square, that would be nice to drive in and out, wouldn't it? So how are we going to get from here now to our leverage? Well, I was trying to think about making it nice, make it so it don't stick out too much. So you could do that way, couldn't you? You could use that like that, or something similar, whatever you find. We haven't got to that bit yet, but I'm going to make this quite there. So I'm going to try and make it funky looking, or what's the word? So that's going to be there to the shaft. We're going to have the square drive, so it's not likely to crack a weld and spin around. So we'll have that turning it, plus the weld turning it. This will be somehow connected to that, or one of these, whatever size we find. Now here is going to be a different proposition, because here's going to be the push, isn't it? We've only got from here to there, and over there it's overcammed. We spoke about that, haven't we? So we've really only got, which is plenty enough. Got plenty of movement. We only want it to do that, don't we? That's all we want it to do. So, to make that happen, hold there a minute. I'm using this bigger bolt as a demonstration. It won't be this big, but we'll be at the end of the shaft now, won't we? We need to be moving, we need to make that moving, so we need to put this here, use a thread to put that there, weld a bolt in the end of there, using the thread to get the connection. I mean, we might even have to warm it up and twist it around 90 degrees. And how would that affect it? We'll find something, but we're going to use spanners, and we're going to use nuts and bolts to be able to make this movement work. Yeah. That's my idea. That'll be going that way, won't it? So that will give us that movement at the end of the shaft. But now we've got to transfer it again, haven't we? So we will be using spanners as connection rods, nuts and bolts as bearings and connections, because once you've got something connected to there, it's bomb proof, isn't it? It's not going to fall off. You're not going to have to make some sort of other connection. But we're going to make it in such a way that it's we're going to have to make it in such a way that it's dismantleable. Yeah, because we're going to have to, we'll make this, we'll push it through, if it's sometimes we need to disconnect it. I don't see having to disconnect it, but we're going to have to do somehow, aren't we? But anyway, basically the shaft's going to come out. We're going to have that, that's going to sit in the middle. We're going to have that turning there with one of them thick washers welded on here holding it. That's going to give us our pushing effect, our that's going to replicate that, isn't it? That's all we want to do. That's going to replicate that. Coming along, we're going to have to make our own brackets to hold the shaft. The shaft will be here somewhere. We haven't got there yet. What it's got to do is push a pin in and out, isn't it? So I'm but I want it to sort of look nice. I'm going to make it out of spanners and of course nuts and bolts. Yeah, so that's what we're working towards now. But meanwhile, let's just finish this off. Get this connection in the middle rock solid. Yeah, I was worried about that plastic being there causing contamination in the weld, but we'll pull that out. We'll just do the eye there, hold it in place, and then take that out. I've already done this, gone round that. Don't touch it, it's hot. I've welded this, welded that all together. Go around with a wire wheel, you know, cleaned it all up. But we'll show you that when it's done, before we put the shaft in forevermore and then never see this again. Done that there now, haven't we? We've tagged it there. Now we can fish out this cable tie that we used as a little shim around the side for now. Yeah, let's carry on with that. So we fished out the little cable tie that we stashed around there as a shim, and that's left us with a gap all the way around now because this eye is holding it here. Yeah, so we can clean that up now and weld in there. Oh, look at this! I've been able to in a long time weld something nice and straight, so straight that it stands on its end without any help at all. Just look at that, there's no, it's like magic in it. Ooh, look at that, perfectly balanced and straight. Yeah, that's got to be a first for me. Yeah, look, it's straight up, there's nothing supporting it, just the spanner itself there. If it was any sort of crooked or wasn't straight, it wouldn't stand there, would it? It didn't take much of a push to push it over, but now we can weld downwards and get the weld in there. Yeah, so that's got to be a first for me, making something that that straight. Huh? I'm pleased with that. I'm really pleased with that. So you might see, you might not. They're really old, really damp rods. Well, fairly damp rods. And they are, yeah, right. And I know I should be wearing gloves. Have I got, they stick. Bloody things are sticking. Oh, because they're old. Right, let's just see if we can do something with this. I'm in the right position now, I'm welding downwards. It's all about the start. Come on, come on. Don't stick, don't stick. Bloody thing. You've got to go in. Oh, we've got a lovely burn going there. We've got a lovely burn on the go there. Let's see if we can continue. You can hear it when it's working well. And everything's melting in just nicely. Ooh, lovely. Come on, let's finish that off. Last bit. What's happened to the clamp? Trouble is now the thing will drop off onto your foot. Trouble when you're doing this. Come on. This is where you get a flash. This is where you lift your mask to have a look and you get yourself flashed. It's still hot. Still hot. The rod, everything gets hot. You've got to be careful whenever you're doing this. Hasn't worked very well, has it? Let's put that back in the clip. There you are, back in position. Up there. Some things. Well, liven at the scene. Ah, come on then. I've got the wrong clamp on the wrong place. What's happening here? It's earthed itself. Yeah. I must have the wrong clamp then. Because I've got the spare clamps here. I must be using the wrong clamp. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, look. I'm using the wrong bleeding earth clamp. This is the clamp that belongs to that. It's been earthing itself on the bench all the time. Damn. Right, come on. I don't really want to go near the vice. Any sparkles on it. Now it's got to work. Ah, using the wrong air. It was only earthing through the bench all the time. The vice. On the bench, because of course I got a steel bench, haven't I? Come on, don't start. You're doing so well. Here we are. Ooh, that's melted in nicely from that angle. Let's have a closer look. Let's have a closer look. Liven at the scene. Oh, that's melted in lovely, that is. Coming at it from that angle. Once that cleans up, it'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, see, I did the little hole first, just to hold the position. Shall we? Yeah, no, have we done that side? Let's have a look, shall we? No, we'll do the top as well. Right. So that joint should never break up now. It's all about how this was horizontal in the, so we were melding these two together. Now I'm going to go downwards. I'm going to melt it all together. This will melt into that. I'll show you. Always get the best angle for when you're welding. So this one was welded that way. So I had to meld this surface to that surface and meld them together, look. Yeah. Which has sort of been alright for my sort of welding. But let me show you the difference. Now we can get it up at this angle and we can have gravity work for us. As the metal melts, this will now melt onto there and fall in the gap and fill the gap up properly. So let me just show you that. Right, get a much better burn on this. Sometimes it's better to use the rod that you've just used rather than get a new one, because you've got to get it fired up and warmed and all the stuff. This one is a good rod, it's running well. So now we're going to burn down this way. Put the strap on it. Turn that turn a bit. Right, let's go. Come on! Now you've got a sparkly tip, so we've got to clean the tip now before we get it going. There you are, we've got a burn started. I'm not sure I'm in the right spot. Just flashed myself, I can't see a damn thing. Yeah, let's start a new rod. So, I'm not telling you from any sort of teaching or learning. I'm self-taught. I am such a butcher. I'm sure there's welders out there jumping up and down and throwing their shoes at the television if they're watching it at all. But I'm just showing you that it's any little welder at home. It's no big secret. Just get it and stick it together. You can make loads of stuff. New rod, new damaged speckled rod. So let's have a go at this. Will it go? Come on, yeah, it sounds okay. I can't see it, just been flashed. Come on. Oh, I've got a dirty end. We got going, we got going. Let me check where I am. It's in the wrong place. I'm alright now. Sounds okay, doesn't it? Sounds okay now. Oh, I've done a right hack of that. But it don't matter, because it'll all stick. Do a bit there. That's why a proper welder would just tag it and it would be perfectly good. But that's why I 100% weld everything, because then something's got to be sticking somewhere, hasn't it? And we don't want this link to break. It's very important not to break this link. Let me clean this up, then we'll show you. Let me switch this on and clean this up, and I'll show you. So remember, don't touch anything because that's red hot metal. So that's where you should wear gloves, really. Oop! Don't trip over your cables in the yard, in the shed neither. Right, come on. Where are we? See where I got lost? I lost my place here because I flashed. I didn't know where I was. I lifted the mask. It sparked, it blinded me, and then I couldn't see a damn thing. But look, that's a much better. All that gap's filled in, and do you see part of the box spanner itself has melted into it? That's a much better grip, much better weld of a fashion. The thing is, we can get a flap disc and we can clean that up if we wanted to. We're not going to, but the good thing with metal is you can rub it all out with a grinder or a flat wheel, clean it all up and re-weld it again. If that was some sort of a butchering wooden joint, you wouldn't get away with that. You can take stuff away from wood, but you can't really put much on, can you? Well, here with welding you can make a right pig's ear of it, but it don't matter because you can get the grindstone, you can get the flap disc, you can sand it all smooth, see where your mistake is and go back in again. Welding's such a cracking thing to have in your workshop when you're messing about and making things. I think we're done. I think we're done. We're ready to get to the other side now. Always, when you're making something, always double check that needs cleaning. A bit of oil on there. Actually, I was thinking of drilling a hole here, so it'll be out the wall. This will be short of the wall. I was thinking of drilling a little hole here, then at least we can get oil into the shaft to dribble this way should we need to. But we don't want it too dribbly because it'll drip out the wall. Remember, this is the hidden bit on the wall, isn't it? So we're over to here now. We've made it to the end of the shaft. So what's the plan for this? What are we going to do? Well, first of all, let's go and remember we had them big washers come in. It's looking pretty central as it is, look. It's looking, wow. Look at that. Sitting pretty good, isn't it? Wow, yeah, I'm pleased with that. So let's go and find a big washer and weld that on the end. Cap this off. Put a big washer in there. So there, with that far, cap that off. Big washer. Then make a plan. Yeah. Then think about what you're going to do.